A very good evening. Welcome to Carabao Cup Live this Thursday night as we watch the final of our 4 quarter-finals in the competition, and we watch the tie of the round really as Tottenham take on Manchester United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this evening, both vying for a place in the semi-finals, which last night we saw Arsenal overcome Crystal Palace. A tight affair in the end at the Emirates as Arsenal overcame Palace by 3-2 to progress. Newcastle were 3-0 up against Brentford before that late consolation made it 3-1, but Newcastle into the semis. And Liverpool, the current holders, they overcame Southampton on the south coast in a wet and windy night to look to get one step closer to defending their title. Tottenham and Manchester United. Man United, the 2023 winners of this competition. Tottenham, their last trophy was winning this competition back in 2008. They both want to do it again under managers at very different tenures at their clubs. Ange Postecoglou under recent pressure after recent results not going their way. Ruben Amorim, probably a hero at Manchester United so far in only his 7th game in charge. He overcame Manchester City in the derby. A Manchester City side well out of form, but a great comeback on Sunday certainly would have buoyed the United squad. Speaking of squads, here are the starting 11s for tonight's game. Tottenham start with Fraser Forster in goal. A back four of Pedro Porro, Radu Dragoshin, Archie Gray and Jed Spence are the defenders. In midfield is Yves Bissouma alongside Pap Sarr, and further forward James Maddison in the 10, Dejan Kulusevski off the right, Captain Heung-min Son off the left, and Dominic Solanke leading the line for Tottenham. On the bench tonight, quite a few youngsters for Spurs: Austin, Whiteman, Reguilon, Dorrington, Hardy, Bergvall, Olusesi, Johnson and Lancashire. For Manchester United, and Ruben Amorim has had a few interesting stories over selections for his teams over the last few days, with Rashford and Garnacho both out of the squad at the weekend. Garnacho's back in, Rashford still out. Starting in the 11s then, Altay Bayindir comes in at goalkeeping role at the back. A back 3/back 5 for United tonight. As always, Nasir Mazraoui, Lenny Yoro comes in. Victor Lindelof, Lisandro Martinez and Diogo Dalot are the defenders. In midfield, Christian Eriksen is joined alongside Manuel Ugarte, with a further forward Bruno Fernandes the captain, Antony alongside him, and Rasmus Højlund the number 9. On the bench for United, Onana, Evans, Maguire, Malacia, Casemiro, Mainu, Ahmad, the hero from the derby, Garnacho back in the team, in the squad tonight, and Joshua Zirkzee. Kick-off between Tottenham and United, who both would love a semi-final place in this competition. Kick-off's next. Very good evening and welcome to Carabao Cup Live with me, Kevin Ferris. This evening, if you can hear, yes, I am not particularly well at the moment, but we strive on and we continue tonight because we've got an exciting game to watch this evening. Two sides who really this season haven't been as great as probably what they would have wanted to be at the start of the campaign. A managerial change at United isn't too uncommon in recent times, but with Erik ten Hag's recent form in cup competitions, you were expecting him to stay a bit longer, but it was untenable at one point, and Ruben Amorim has come in, and his first taste of Carabao Cup action starts this evening in a quarter-final and a chance to get your place into the final 4. But a Spurs side where Ange Postecoglou came out with quite a rash statement earlier in the season, saying he always wins things in his 2nd season at football clubs. Well, we'll see if that's the case here this evening, if they can get one step closer to fulfilling that prophecy. As Manchester United get us underway then, here in North London. Spurs, of course, in their home strip of white shirt and navy shorts, and Manchester United in red shirts and white shorts this evening, so both in their home strips this evening for this one. And of course, you know, with these two clubs, Manchester United kind of the team of the cups over the last number of years, picking up that Carabao Cup in 2023. Then the reigning FA Cup champions at the moment are Manchester United. They've had a good affinity with the cup competitions over the recent years. Actually, considering they've actually been in 3 of the last 4 finals in both competitions. They were in the last 2 FA Cup finals, and they were in the Carabao Cup final the season before last. So certainly know what cup finals look like. A few games away from that yet, but a win here tonight would put them on the verge of returning to Wembley at the start of 2025. Spurs started with early possession there. They've given it away to Anthony. Now here's Lenny Yoro. He's under pressure from Solanke there, but did well, Yoro. Although United lose it in midfield, and Son's got free. Son breaking through. Plays it out to Kulishevsky. Kulishevsky across, and just ahead of Heung-min Son, as United had floods of bodies in the box to clear it away. But that was simple as you like, that from Tottenham. Nice give and go between Son and Kulishevsky, and the cutback from Kulishevsky straight back to his captain, just a bit ahead of the South Korean. Otherwise that would have been 1-0 Spurs. Beautiful counter-attacking football. United give it up in midfield, and kind of at that point they're at 6s and 7s trying to rush back to get into areas to block off the Spurs attack, and maybe a bit fortunate there, United, that Spurs didn't end up finding the back of the net there. And there's no doubting there's been an uptick in form for United since Ruben Amorim's appointments. Lost 2 of their 7 games under Ruben Amorim. And they were back-to-back games away at Arsenal, at home to Forest in the Cup, or in the league, sorry. Apologies. The only other game they failed to win under Ruben Amorim was his first game in charge when they drew away at Ipswich. But they've won at the 4 other games. Home to Bodo Glimt, home to Everton, away to Victoria Pilsen, and then that comeback against Manchester City on Sunday evening. Quite a mixed bag for Amorim, but a pretty positive start to his tenure. A long way to go though on that front. Well, my quote of the week, don't often do this, who does? But my quote of the week is certainly from Ange Postecoglou, where he said that the British Prime Minister has to face an election once every few years. He has to face one every weekend. And it's quite a telling insight into how much pressure that managers of big football clubs are under. And it actually was really interesting just to hear Ange Postecoglou's thoughts on the matter. Although tongue-in-cheek comment, but there's a deeper meaning certainly behind it, as Jed Spence there lost the ball and tried to win it back off Lenny Yoro and got a bit tangled, the 2 players, so it will be a free kick to United. This, whenever it came out in the draw, was certainly the tie of the round. You know, we talk, of course, 8 Premier League teams remaining in the competition coming into the quarterfinals. No big shocks, no big kind of teams dropped out of the competition. Of course, whatever happens tonight, one will go, obviously, but set up for a cracking semi-final setup. Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool, and then one of these 2 teams, Spurs or Manchester United. Sets up a whole raft of cracking fixtures that could come in the semi-finals. United trying to play it through the lines. Fernandes did well to find Højlund, but Anthony couldn't keep a hold of the ball as he was pressed there. Archie Gray a bit forced that pass, but Ugarte's interception goes out of play for a Spurs throw. Spurs kicking from right to left, by the way. United from left to right in this first half. As Gray has to knock it long again. Solanke there tried to take control, but it came off his chest and goes out for another throw-in. Of course, no VAR this evening, which is quite an interesting and intriguing affair. There was no VAR in any of our quarterfinals, despite all 4 of them being held in Premier League grounds. But the EFL have said the VAR usage will be in the semi-finals and the final only of the competition this year, so no VAR intervention this evening. As Pedro Porro there wins a free kick off Bruno Fernandes. I'm sure the referee, John Brooks, this evening will be, I wouldn't say happy that there's no VAR involvement, but I'm sure a few fans are quite happy. As we just see that challenge from Fernandes again, it is a bit high, that. I mean, he kind of has his leg wrapped around the left shoulder of Pedro Porro there. It is quite high. It's a long ball over the top from Spurs. Solanke on the chase again. Euro damage limitations, takes no risks and put that one straight out of play. Did the summer signing of United, Lenny Euro, making his Carabao Cup debut this evening. Is the centre-back, as is Ruben Amorim. Of course, Manchester United's last round of the Carabao Cup, a home game against Leicester, was a win, of course, 5-2 win at home, but that was under Ruud van Nistelrooy. As Spurs went it back here, Maddison couldn't find a teammate in his challenge. Lovely 1-2 between Anthony and Eriksson, and Eriksson breaks away for United, and Højlund just about got closed down, but he keeps the play. Does Højlund. Now Eriksson out to Mazraoui. Spurs have lots of bodies back, and that will just stifle United back the way with the ball. There's a decent break there from United initially. Good combination between Eriksson and Anthony. So here they go again. Fernandes down the left, and Højlund tracked all the way by Archie Gray. Couldn't keep that one in. As I was saying, that's the United's win in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. Home game against Leicester, 5-2. They won that game, an absolute barnstorming game. They were 4-1 up, or 4-2 up, sorry, at half time at Were United. Incredible game that night, but of course under Ruud van Nistelrooy's charge. So they've had 3 different managers take charge of them in this season's competition, have United. Erik ten Hag, Ruud van Nistelrooy, and now Ruben Amorim. There's pressure there on Altay Bayindir. Got it away just in time. See Lenny Euro. Again, United trying to play it out from the back, and Anthony wasn't ready to receive the ball there, and Archie Gray just nipped in and won it back for Spurs. Forster. Bissouma. Dragoshin lets it roll across his body. He chips it forward, but he gets it all wrong, and it goes out of play for a throw. Not the most convincing from either team so far. First 9 minutes or so, it's been a bit topsy-turvy. Both sides maybe just getting to grips with the play tonight. It's Eriksson and Mazraoui link up there, and Eriksson tries to spin it out wide, and look at the space here for Diogo Dalot, who's breaking into the box, and well marshalled by Pedro Porro, who had to come across. It will be a United corner, but that's wonderful play by Christian Eriksson. Beautiful switch ball out to the left-hand side, and Dalot, being that extra man in the wide area, just has that little bit of space to break into, and Porro just has to come across and shield the ball out for a corner. But it's good play by United. Eriksson, who played that switch ball, will come over and take this corner. Let's see what United can do from this first corner of the game. Right-footed delivery, flicked on, up in the air it goes, still alive, and Martinez's ball is overhit. Goal kick. See this again, the delivery, and it's up in the air. I think it was Bissouma that got the head to it. Just went flying into the air, and as it comes back down, Martinez, the United centre-back, just tries to adjust and kind of take it first time, and it just goes well wide. As Eriksson caught in midfield there by Bissouma. Wins the free kick. It's interesting to see that Ruben Amorim, in his 8 games in charge, has made 23 alterations to his starting 11s. It's almost averaging 3 per game on that front. So certainly trying out different combinations, trying out different setups, seeing which team is best for him. Still trying to figure out that best starting 11 for him. Certainly using his squad to its fullest of ability at the moment and trying to find that best combination for the start. As here's Fernandes, rolls it through for Højlund. Lovely first touch, but again Spurs body's in the way, and Dragoshin there to intercept. Beaten past by Anthony. Dragoshin, poor ball out to the midfield as Ugarte picks it back up. Martinez switches it out to Eriksson on the right hand side now. To Mazraoui. Back out wide to Eriksson. Mazraoui again. Spurs back into shape, and United have to go all the way back to their goalkeeper, and Altay Bayindir here. Out to Mazraoui. Now down the right for Eriksson to chase, but goes out of play. Just see this again. Beautiful first ball by Eriksson. Spots the free man and Bruno Fernandes, and then he just rolls it in behind. And it's a wonderful first touch by Højlund. Why he doesn't take a shot, I'm not too sure, but he allows the Spurs players to recover. Takes a bit too long. As the ball in by Fernandes is wide. But again, that moment from Rasmus Højlund, it was really good play, it was really good move, and if he got his shot off, could have found the back of the net. And we just see another chance there a moment or two ago where Fernandes got the ball wide and he just bobbled it across the 18-yard box, actually around the 6-yard box, and Højlund on his heels there as Spurs intercept here with Sarr. Now Son arriving into the box. Heung-min Son tried to curl one and got it high and wide. He's desperate, saying that it's a corner, that there was a deflection, but see it again. Yes, Sarr breaks up what was poor play there from United, and Martinez giving the ball away. It's then Sarr lays it off to Son, and we see Son chop onto his right foot, trying to curl it. Might come off Lenny Yoro there, to be fair. Maybe just a little of nicks, but Son was adamant that it was a corner, but the officials didn't agree. Goal kick. Spurs have the ball back now anyway. Here's Sarr. Into Son. On that left-hand side again. Couldn't beat past Euro this time. Sarr couldn't retrieve the ball. It's Fernandes getting a bit loose, giving it away again. Madison trying to break through and gets upended by Noussair Mazraoui. And a free kick for Tottenham. In a good area too. Got a bit scrappy there for a minute. Both sides just so far in this game struggling to keep possession are both teams. Very topsy-turvy. Very open first 13 minutes or so. You can see there from the possession stats on your screen, 50-50 the possession so far, so really not much in it in these early moments. And let's see what Madison can do from here. It's about 30 yards out. It's angled to the left. He's just going to roll it out to Son here. Madison's made the run, but Son's not taking that option. Back to Bissouma. And now Porro will hit one. And a good save by Bayindir, and followed up and in by Dominic Solanke. Talk about calamity. That was dreadful from Manchester United, really. I mean, lack of reactions. Altay Bayindir did as best as he could, the goalkeeper, but not a single United defender reacting. See this again. Strange free kick by Spurs anyway, initially. Madison plays it to Son. Son takes an age to make a decision. Plays it across, and Porro's got the freedom of the pitch in the middle. And the United defenders, I mean, it was very strange. Porro, from a great distance, straight down the throat of the keeper, makes a good save. He parries it out. And Solanke, great reaction times. That's a great striker should be. Reacts first, and it comes off the inside of the post and in. It's another calamitous error from United on set pieces. How many times have we said it in recent weeks? Manchester United defensively from set pieces are absolutely woeful, and Spurs have been almost handed it the opening goal. Tottenham 1, United 0. And I would say, to be honest, the goalkeeper, I mean, it takes a deflection on the way through. The goalkeeper just adjusts. He does as best as he could. And I wouldn't particularly blame the goalkeeper especially. What I would blame is the fact that United are just set up for Spurs to whip the ball in. Do not make any adjustments when Spurs kind of play it around. And saw him standing there for about 5-6 seconds. I mean, he's standing there waiting for something to happen, and no one moves. And it just helps Spurs because they've got acres of space on the edge of the box to hit a shot. As Anthony there try to rescue for a throw. He does get the throw off Yves Bissouma. And Spurs fans weren't happy there for a second. They thought Rasmus Højlund had gone out of play with the ball, but the assistant on that side didn't see that. I don't think I saw it that way either. To be fair, I think he kept it in, and Spurs trying to win the ball back there. Give away another free kick. Cheap one to give away that one. Maddison and Jed Spence involved. On Anthony. This is key now for a reaction for United. They went 1-0 down against City in the first half and came back and won 2-1. Long way to go yet, because here comes Bruno Fernandes. Rolls it across. Too much pace maybe. Højlund again on his heels. Not the predatory striker that Man United need in those positions at the moment. That's a couple of times Bruno Fernandes played a ball right across the 6-yard box. An absolute peach for a poacher of an attacker. And Højlund just not there to pick it up. As we see the goal again, I mean, every Manchester United defender, when this ball hits the back of the net, they have all got their arm up in the air as if to say, oh, he's offside, he's offside. I mean, it's just terrible. Terrible. I mean, Dominic Solanke, fabulous centre-forward play. I mean, look, Dominic Solanke last season at Bournemouth, absolutely sensational. Incredible. And that kind of handed him his place at a big club in Tottenham. But he's now scored in his last 4 appearances against United, which is an interesting stat. But beyond that, you know, he's the type of player that is needed at the top. And reaction times like that, instinct, is not something you can train. And I think with the best of strikers, I'm not saying Dominic Solanke's the best, but what I am saying is he's got those instincts, and that's just instinctual with a player in those areas to kind of pounce upon a rebound and to anticipate it is quite remarkable. But again, it just looked really easy for Spurs, to be honest. Really easy. Well, Martinez did well on the spin there under pressure from Kulusevski. As Dalot out to Fernandes. Back to Martinez. Now Yoro. Now Mizraoui down the right hand side. Hits it straight at Jed Spence, but wins it back as Højlund knocks off his man, but Anthony's ball is a bit loose. But I think the referee's going to give a free kick here for United, which has got a pretty angry reaction from Jed Spence there. He didn't feel that was a foul. I thought it was a bit soft, but not that my opinion matters, to be honest. Excuse me. There's Pat Jennings in the crowd there. Northern Ireland legend. Martinez down the left hand side. Brought down by Dalot. Steps in field of Porro and switches it out to his opposing wing back and Mizraoui. Now he rolls it in behind for Anthony. Into the box. Tries to break it away from Archie Gray, who does really well. Does Gray, and Spence now hits it back to Forster, who clears it long. Yoro intercepting, as that's good play by Son there, but no one on the same page as the Spurs captain, and it's given away again. 20 minutes gone. It's been a strange start to this cup game so far. It's been one of those games where Both sides are kind of tiptoeing around each other at the moment. That ball in behind by Mazraoui. Fernandez has made the run. Porro was battling with him and did enough, did Pedro Porro there, to allow his keeper to retrieve the ball. It is just that little bit strange. Doesn't seem the same. There's a strange kind of atmosphere at the moment. I think the goal kind of played a part in that. I think there was shock around the stadium. How's that gone in? How's that happened? It just seemed a bit bizarre. It was a bit of a training exercise, really, from Spurs' point of view. I mean, it seemed that like it was straight off the training ground. I mean, I don't know who the set-piece coach is, but I would tell him. I mean, great job getting the goal, but very strange set-piece in a strange situation. The Spurs get a bit too cute with the ball and give it away cheaply in midfield. Fernandez now down the left as Dalot cuts it back for Eriksson. Good block in there by Bissouma, who got back. Good response from United. Euro delivers into the box, and Porro there to meet it. Heads it out, but Jed Spence back towards his own goal line and beats his way past Mazraoui and wins Spurs a free kick. Well, Christian Eriksen there got the ball, played back to him. Decent clean strike with his left foot, to be fair. Striding onto the ball. Kind of rolls around it, and Bissouma's there just to block it well. Christian Eriksen, of course, a former Spurs player. It's Forster to take this free kick for Spurs. We're halfway through the first half. Tottenham 1, Manchester United 0. Garty nice and tidy in the midfield there. Goes back to Bayindir. There's the spin it out. Beautiful touch by Dalot. A nice ends Fernandez bursting down the left hand side. Fernandez against Sarr. Went down there, Fernandez. There's going to be a free kick and a yellow card for Pape Sarr. So the referee there looked to be saying that he kind of came through the back of him. See it again. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a bit stupid, that, from Pape Sarr. He kind of just kicks into the back of his leg there, really. No attempt to win the ball whatsoever. It's just really lazy. It's really lazy, that, from Pape Sarr. And he gets a yellow card. And that will mean that he will miss the next EFL Cup game if they are to go to the semi-finals. He will miss that one. Or at least the first leg of the semi-final if Spurs are to progress. Pape Sarr will not be available. And a free kick in a good area here for Manchester United. Wide on the left, wide of the 18-yard box. Christian Eriksen is the one over it. Eriksen delivers. Oh, tried to go for goal just over the bar. There were players in there for United that could have made the difference. Maybe could have got on the end of a cross, but Eriksen wanted to go himself and saw it sail over the bar. Here's Archie Gray to Dragoshin for Spurs. Down the right hand side it goes, but again Spurs a bit loose in their passing. Give it away. As Martinez goes back to Bayindir. Now Euro in the tight gaps. As Lindelof's ball is intercepted by Jed Spence, and Spence was taken out by Mazraoui, and that will get Mazraoui a yellow card. Yeah, trying to play out from the back there, United, and Lindelof's ball out to Mazraoui, far too easily spotted. Well anticipated by Jed Spence, who nips in ahead of Mazraoui to take the ball away from him, and Mazraoui sends Jed Spence to the floor, and that gets Nasser Mazraoui a yellow card. Excuse me. There's a free kick taken short this time. Madison to Son, and Son into Kulishevsky. Good save by Bayendir. As Ugarte still under pressure in his own right back position as Son tries to battle with him. And it will be a United throw. Son not too happy with that one, but it will be. See it again here. Again, it's just poor defending from a set piece. I mean, it's a short free kick taken by by Madison to Son. Son plays it straight through to Kulishevsky, who just turns into miles of space in the 18-yard box. I mean, I don't know what Manchester United do from set pieces, but whatever they're doing, it's not working, because Spurs are carving them open time and time again. Here they go again. Son into Kulishevsky in the box. Not many bodies with him. And Kulishevsky, Son makes the run beyond, but Kulishevsky can't find the pass. It's Martinez and Anthony follow him out there, but Basuma there to mop up and keep Spurs in possession. Again, it just seems like Manchester United from those set pieces are just a bit clueless. I mean, no disrespect to whatever the coaches are doing there, but it does stink of cluelessness. Here's Jed Spence now. Porro tried to follow it with Madison, but again given away. One back by Papsar. So it bounces down the right, but Martinez hooks it clear. Again, it's just a bit loose from both teams. Certainly a well-matched quarter-final so far. It's not brimming with quality so far, let's be honest. Here's Madison through the lines, finds Porro. First touch by Porro, which allows United to nick it back. And here is Fernandez. Ugarte. Back to Lenny Yoro. Down to Mazraoui on the right. Steps in field, back to Yoro again. Well, already faced each other this season, have these two. That was at Old Trafford in the Premier League back in late September. Spurs thumped United that day by 3-0. And United went down to 10 in that one, to be fair, in the first half. Bruno Fernandes sent off, but they were already 1-0 down when Brennan Johnson got the opener. Kulishevsky scored the second, and Dominic Solanke scored the third for Spurs that day. And they've also today find themselves 1-0 up after the early stages to the home side. It's actually a 4-game unbeaten run for Spurs against United. The last time Man United beat Spurs was back in October of 2022 in a 2-0 victory. Erik ten Hag's first game in charge, or a first game against Spurs for Manchester United. At that time, a Spurs toying about at the back there. As Dalot wins it back for United. Dalot. Not a great cross as Dragoshin clears. Again, Spurs were getting pressured by United in their own defensive third, and he gave up possession a bit easily there, to be honest. As Fernandez, it was good pressure by United, to be fair, to win it back. Fernandez to Martinez, now Lindelof. 29 minutes gone, Spurs 1, United 0. Nice move by Yoro, plays it into Mazraoui. Looks to switch it out to the left. Beautiful touch by Dalot. But he takes it down first time, cuts it to the edge. Eriksson misses. Anthony! Cleared away by Archie Gray. Still alive as Fernandez delivers in, but just too far ahead of Anthony. Goal kick. As I was saying, that 4-game unbeaten run for Spurs against United. As I said, the last time United beat them, October 2022, at Old Trafford. Fred and Bruno Fernandes were the scorers that time. That was actually a 4-game winning streak for United when they won that one against Tottenham. Home and away. Certainly had a share of the spoils, these two, over the last number of years. Spurs won the last game between these two here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium by 2-0. Sarr and an own goal from Lisandro Martinez, both second half goals, won the game for Spurs on that day. Kulishevsky tracking back into midfield and pulled down there by Ugarte. Free kick Spurs. It seems like Spurs, although the possession has been pretty even, just seems like Spurs have got to grips with the game a bit more since that opening goal. Seems like Spurs have just been a bit more settled in their play. United a bit, still a bit snatchy, if that's the right word to really say. Here's Madison. Lovely interchange between Solanke and Son. Here is Heung-min Son. Now he gives it to Porro. Porro out wide to Kulishevsky. Kulishevsky wants to chip it across. Well blocked there by Lenny Yoro. And cleared away. As Højlund tries to keep it alive. And holding it up there for United. But again gives it away. Here's Kulishevsky. Tried to beat past Ugarte, did so. Now past Dalot. But Dalot battled back. And won it back. As Fernandez has it taken off him once again. United can't seem to keep possession in those areas at the moment. Of course, the importance of this game is well known, well documented for both of these two teams. You know, Ruben Amorim, it would be great for him to start off with winning a trophy in his first season. Ange Postecoglou with Spurs in their trophy barren spell. 16 years now without a trophy here at White Hart Lane, shall we call it. That's a lovely ball over the top by Spurs, and in behind the ball to Son was just a bit too narrow, not wide enough for Son to kind of try and find it, and Bayindir just mopped it up there for United. But again, first time ball over the top, lovely into the space, and then the ball by Solanke in behind. It's just a bit too narrow towards Son. Spurs' press wins it back again to Madison. Son flicks it round, lovely 1-2 again with Kulishevsky as Son's brought down. Around about the edge of the box, still alive is the ball here. Here's Kulishevsky into the box, cuts it back, trying to square it across, and almost kind of pushed into his own net there by Ugarte, behind for the corner. I mean, what's this? Son goes to ground, and United, I mean, fighting with themselves here to keep the ball on the edge of their own box. Kulishevsky comes away with it, and he just tries to square it across the 6-yard box, and Ugarte stretching back. I mean, it's good clearance in the end, but it could have went anywhere. As Ugarte stretched, and it just goes behind for a corner. But I mean, what? Shocking. Corner here for Spurs. Son to take on this left-hand side. 11 minutes to go in the first half. Spurs came ever so close to doubling their lead there. United giving up quite a few goals from corners recently. Let's see how they do from this one. Although Son will have to wait a few seconds more as the referee wants to iron out a few issues in the box. A bit too much physicality for the referee's liking. As they will now take this corner, will Spurs. Their first of the game. Son. Right-footed in swinger. Flicked on at the near post, but not fully cleared by United as Dragoshin. And Solanke goes down. No penalty. I don't think they would have got the penalty there, even if VAR had been involved tonight. I think that was pretty clear. But Spurs can feel something at the moment as the ball forward was a shot, actually. That went well wide. A bit strange. See this again, this penalty incident. Yeah, there's nothing in that. Nothing in that whatsoever. Again, United give it away cheaply from the goal kick. They're at 6s and 7s here as Bissouma now breaks down the left. Gets it back to Son. Shot charged down. Still alive. As Mazraoui has to get it away. Manchester United at the moment need to ride through this period because Spurs are starting to smell blood. United just look like they've folded. Don't want to get too dramatic, but the last few minutes have been absolutely woeful. That's a good step in by Yoro though. Anthony now over the top as here's Bruno Fernandes in behind. Bruno Fernandes try to flick it across to Højlund. Cleared away by Spurs. And Kulusevski gets back, but Dalot does well to adjust. Finds it out to Fernandes again. Gets the ball into the box. Spurs 2 and 3 attempts at clearing it. Kept alive. Yoro. Lindelof. Fernandes will shoot. And it will bounce wide for a goal kick. Good opportunity. But again, it was poor from Spurs defensively there. One ball over the top and Fernandes was in behind the Spurs defence. Spence in his own defensive third there. There's lots of bodies around him and they played that very well, Spurs, to be fair. Solanke's ball. 2-under hit towards Son. Yoro gets back in and finds Martinez. 8 minutes to go in the first half. Spurs 1, United 0. And it's been a very strange first half, I have to be honest with you. I've said it the whole way through the first half, but it's been bizarre what I've seen in some phases of the play tonight. Some strange defending from both teams at times. Here's Dalot. Back to Martinez, into Eriksson. Sprays it back to Lenny Yoro, who takes a touch and now tries to find it over the top. But again, Spurs deal with it the first time, though. Højlund tried to take it down and had the shot just dragged wide. Again, that ball in behind, that ball over the top from United is causing Spurs problems. The Spurs defence not dealing with it as well as they should be at the moment. Pedro Porro, not a great header to clear it away, and then this kind of keeps the pressure on the Spurs defence and allows Højlund to have a pop shot at it as Madison gets taken down, but the referee's going to play advantage as Son breaking free here. Tries to play it into a space for Solanke, but that one well closed out by Martinez. Although the referee's just going to have a chat with Manuel Ugarte here, who did take down James Maddison in the build-up to that attack. No card, just a talking to by the referee John Brooks. Throw in for Spurs on the left-hand side. Spence to Madison, back to Jed Spence. And Bissouma goes all the way back to Dragoshin. Porro. Dragoshin into Solanke. Now Bissouma in the middle. Nice vertical passing from Spurs. Son plays a lovely ball into Solanke, but couldn't keep his balance there as Sarr picks it back up again. Spence. Son. Into Sarr again. Out wide on the right hand side comes Porro. Porro to deliver. Up in the air by Lindelof. Not cleared away as Eriksson does get it away, but only as far as Sarr. And Spence again. Up Sarr. Bissouma. Sarr finding a little gap for Madison to run into. Linking up with Kulusevski. Madison again. Now to Son on the edge of the box. Into Kulusevski, who couldn't quite reach the ball as Bayendir came running out to grab. Again, it just looked like Spurs trying to run rings around United there. And for that little overhit ball, could have been 2-0. Playing really nice football at the moment at times, Spurs in that final third. Give the ball in the midfield far too many times. They've just given it away again. Here's Højlund. Now for United to break. Down the left-hand side is Dalot. Dello looking for options. Fernandez curls it across, but Eriksson again not anticipating it. And again, it's gone beyond. I mean, I don't know how many times Bruno Fernandes has played that ball into the box, and there's been no one there to meet it for United. It's about 3 or 4 times in this game that he's done it, and there's just been no one there anticipating it, alert, waiting for it. If it's a clear tactic that they're going to use, and he's getting the ball in time and time again, have someone there waiting, have someone alert. It's a bit counterintuitive at the minute. Here is Mazraoui to Anthony, back to Yoro. There is Europa Conference League action tonight, the final match day of the league phase of the Europa Conference League this evening. Chelsea in action at Stamford Bridge, taking on Irish opposition and Shamrock Rovers. It's 3-1 to Chelsea in the 41st minute. And also in Belfast, Larne taking on Ghent. It is 0-0. As Man United in behind. Mazraoui tried to flick it across. Well defended by Spurs again in there. Again, both attacks look up for this tonight. Both defences look strange. Very strange. Spurs cleared away and behind for a United corner. That moment. As Eriksson to deliver. Fizzed ball towards the back post, but Jed Spence there in cover. Just puts it behind for another Man United corner. This time on the opposite side. Eriksson will go over and take this one as well. As we edge closer to half time, and it's still Spurs 1, United 0. Eriksson with the delivery again to the back post. Lindelof to get the flick on. Martinez there as well as he spun it back across goal, but no one there to anticipate. I think he caught his own teammates off guard, and it goes behind for a goal kick. There's a man on the Spurs bench, Sergio Reguilon, this evening, who has played for both clubs. We are talking about this little interesting fact because Victor Lindelof has gone down on the pitch, so there is a halt in play. And as I was saying, Sergio Reguilon was on loan at Manchester United and is still here at Tottenham, and actually played in that 2021 Carabao Cup final for Spurs that they lost to Manchester City. Victor Lindelof, he's down. He doesn't look in a good way at the minute, Victor Lindelof. He looks quite upset at that moment. And I think it kind of looks like he knows that this might be a few weeks. And he is just going to be walking off. He's not limping or anything, but you can kind of tell it's maybe a hamstring or something of one of those types of issues. Victor Lindelof frustrated as he goes down the tunnel here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and I'm sure it's a tough thing for a player to go through that type of thing, constantly being injured, constantly being on the back foot in terms of injuries. And Lindelof has come off, and he's going to be replaced by Johnny Evans. As we will have 2 added minutes then at the end of the first half as well. First half that has been fairly strange to watch, but the first half that at the moment gets Spurs one step closer to a semi-final. Anthony goes down. One wanted a foul. The referee said no. Solanke giving the ball away down the left-hand flank, and Jed Spence down that side. Put it out for a United throw. Last minute of the half. Here is Martinez. Comes back to Euro. Now Mizraoui. And that will be a United throw as it came off Son last there. Nice 1-2 link up. Down that right hand side between Anthony and Hoyland. And now Anthony gives it out wide to Dalot. Dalot cuts it back again for Eriksson. Blocked again. This time by Archie Gray. United coming close again there. Spurs getting the block, the crucial block in the right area. Dalot trying to force it between the lines. Picked up by Kulishevsky. Solanke on the turn, but battling with Ugarte. Gets a bit muddled in his footing there, does Solanke. Here is Ugarte. 2 minutes now up, but referee not blown the whistle just yet. Fernandez. Back to Lenny Yoro. Referee allowing this to run. It's Mizraoui down the right hand side. Maybe the injury adding a few more seconds on from Lindelof, and that ball will go out of play. And that will be the end of the first half. A first half where it has been quite even in the balance of play, albeit Spurs do lead at the break, but the difference, I would say, between Spurs and United is the fact that United have been really poor from set pieces and they score from one to Spurs. United haven't been as clinical as they probably should be in the final third with the chances they've created. Half time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the Carabao Cup quarter final. It's Spurs 1, Manchester United 0. Analysis on the way next. Do stay with us. Welcome back to Carabao Cup Live for the quarterfinals here on LFS this evening with me, Kevin Ferris. It is half time. It is Tottenham 1, Manchester United 0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and Spurs find themselves ahead from that free kick, rebounded back into the path of Dominic Solanke, who found the net for the fourth successive time against United for him in his last 4 games. He has found the back of the net, and he has done in that first half, which has Spurs ahead. United have had chances as well in that first half, probably similar amounts of chances that Spurs have created, but not found the back of the net with them as of yet, without a shot on target in the first half. Are Manchester United from their 7 shots, none of them on target, to be honest, and that probably sums up where Man United have gone wrong in that first half, albeit, I got to be honest, both defences have been dreadful so far. I have to be real with it. I think some of the defending Manchester United have done has been absolutely laughable at times. I mean, from the free kick, from a couple of the corners, even from like a set piece taken short. The short free kick from earlier on, just two passes and they were in behind. just lack of reactions, lack of understanding, lack of organisation between the United team when they're defending set pieces. It's just bizarre to watch how inept it is at the moment, and it's something they need to fix and fast, because it's been a problem over the last number of games, dating back to that Arsenal game and probably even before that. But that's really where it's come to a head as of recently, where they've conceded from set pieces. The Arsenal game where they conceded both goals from set pieces, then they conceded against Forest from set pieces, and then we come into the City game. They conceded from a set piece from a corner, the second phase of a corner, but a corner. And then tonight, they've again conceded from even the third phase, not even the second phase, probably the third phase of that free kick. Again, it is a similar trait for United all the way through their games as of recently, where they're conceding, giving up chances, giving up goals from set pieces, whether it be corners, whether it be free kicks. And even not even the first phase, the second phase, and then even to the third phase of those set pieces. It is quite bad, and it is something they need to fix and fast if they're going to progress under Ruben Amorim. But it is certainly a headache he will want to have. Nobody wants to have a headache, but certainly wants to improve his team, and that is a quick, fire-sure way of doing it, and certainly improving them defensively from set pieces. But again, both teams have defended really bad in that first half. I mean, Spurs at times, I look at their defence, and United play just one ball over the top, and many times United have played that ball over the top, or the switch ball out to the left flank, and there's been all amounts of space for the United players, whether it be Dalot or Fernandes, to kind of exploit and find crosses and put balls into the box. Spurs is something they need to figure out and sort, because at the minute they're dragging their defence so far to the left-hand side of the pitch. Jed Spence is pushing so far up, so it's dragging the whole defence across. Archie Gray's playing across, Dragoshin's cut across, and then Porro's coming in as like an auxiliary centre-back at times, and they're leaving this gaping hole on the right-hand side, which United are exploiting. Now, they're not taking advantage of it at the minute because they're not finding the back of the net, but that's where Man United's chances are coming from. Those switch balls down the left, those balls into the left-hand channel, where Spurs are just leaving themselves exposed from the turnovers and from the quick turnovers in possession. But, to be honest, a first half where neither defence deserve any sort of plaudits, to be honest. And then, attacking wise, both sides have looked good in front of goal. I mean, Spurs have looked creating some decent opportunities and probably could have got a second goal in that first half with the chances they created. But then Manchester United again, Christian Eriksen's had a few chances saved. Fernandes put in multiple balls into the box, around about the 6-yard box, at different angles, different paces, for different players, but no one there to react for United. So they've been in front of goal as much as Spurs have, the visitors, but they just haven't been able to be clinical enough in front of goal, and that's why they trail at half-time, or that's part of the reason why they trail at half-time. But again, a first half, both sides not the best, and not on their best form, but there's certainly a lot to improve on, and we'll see if they can do in the second half. Right, the second half's about 8 minutes away, so do stay tuned for that. But a recap of last night's quarterfinals, where Arsenal beat Crystal Palace by 3-2. A Gabriel Jesus hat-trick secured that victory for Arsenal at the Emirates. Newcastle, through a Sandro Tonali brace and a third goal secured by Fabian Schär, sealed the victory for them and a place in the final four. And Liverpool once again continuing that wonderful form that they're in at the moment, beating Southampton by 2-1. It could have been a lot better for Liverpool, but they got tightened up in the second half, and Cameron Archer certainly made it closer than it probably could have been for Arne Slot's team. But Darwin Núñez and Harvey Elliott's goals got them over the line, and the reigning holders of the Carabao Cup, Liverpool, are into the semis. Right, so we're halfway to finding out who will join them, and of course, don't forget the semi-final draw we will have tonight around 10:30. We will have the full length of the draw. I mean, it's 4 teams, it's 2 games. two ties, so it's not that long of a draw. About really around 10:30, and we'll have the full draw available on our YouTube shorts, on TikTok, and all of our socials, as well as our YouTube community page. So do stay tuned on LFS on socials around about 10:30 this evening, and you will find out who will be playing who in the Carabao Cup semi-finals this season. The semi-finals will be played in the new year. The first leg of the semi-final, of course, two legs semi-finals in this competition. 6th of January for the first leg. That is the first first weekend of January, and then the second leg takes place in early February as well, on the 3rd of February of 2025. Right, that is what's to come. But what's still to come here tonight is the second half between Tottenham and Manchester United. So stay tuned for the second half, on the way very shortly. Welcome back to Carabao Cup Live for the quarter-finals between Tottenham and Manchester United this evening. Our final quarter-final, and a reminder for you then, don't forget about the semi-final draw. 3 of the teams already confirmed: Arsenal, Newcastle and Liverpool in the semi-finals. Who will join them, Spurs or United, tonight 10:30 on LFS socials, on social media, that means. For all of you that didn't understand that, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. That'd be greatly appreciated. And we thank each and every one of you for joining us again this evening for this Carabao Cup tie as we edge closer to Christmas. A couple of games to go before Christmas Day. A few games this weekend in the Premier League to bring you as well to come over Saturday and Sunday here on LFS. We'll take a couple of days for Christmas, and then post-Christmas is where it gets exciting. The second half of the season, and where we all start to see what was known as the business end of the season. We're a bit away from that yet, as the players just come back out of the field. The United players have actually been out for the last minute or two. Spurs keeping us waiting, and waiting patiently at the moment as they do re-enter the pitch. Just about on time, to be fair to them, and ready to kind of convert what is a half-time lead into a quarter-final victory of the home side, and a Manchester United team that are hoping to do what they did on Sunday: overcome a half-time deficit to win in a big game on the road. The referee having an issue with something about Rasmus Højlund here. I don't know what they're having an argument about. The referee and United's number 9. Whatever it is. Probably continue for a long while yet anyway. And we'll see what Man United can do in this second half. Certainly created chances, good enough to try and get a goal, but not clinical enough to find the back of the net. As we get the second half underway then, here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. 45 minutes separate Spurs from a Carabao Cup semi-final, and a chance to play another big Premier League side in either Liverpool, Newcastle or Arsenal. I mean, a North London derby semi-final would be absolute box office. As I said, any matchup in the semi-finals with the teams we've got remaining would be quite a remarkable lineup for the semis. It's a good start by Spurs. Down the left comes Son. Son rolls it on to Porro. Porro across. Deflects out Kulusevski. Great start to the second half. Dejan Kulusevski, who's been Spurs' main man this season. Top performer. Scores in big moments. And Spurs double their lead inside 40-something seconds of the second half getting underway. Good start. Man United, again, I said they've been woeful in part for defensively in that first half, and it looks like they haven't improved. It's just really poor defending. The ball from Maddison from the left-hand side. Good work by Son. Maddison on the overlap. Cuts it back across. Martinez, a weak as ever clearance. I mean, literally just taps it right back into the 18-yard box, straight into the path of Dejan Kulusevski, who thrashes the ball past Altay Bayindir and into the back of the net to double Spurs' lead. Tottenham 2, Manchester United 0, and a perfect start to the second half for Ange Postecoglou's team. And Dejan Kulusevski, and now he's in hot form. That's his 4th and 4. And he also scored in the United game back in September as well. Again, Sandro Martinez there with an awful clearance, and they're not done yet here. Spurs, here's Son, he's just offside. Flag's gone up against the Spurs captain. And there's an issue here for a United player on the far side, I believe. There's a man down, but that's not the start to the second half Ruben Amorim was hoping for. Most certainly the worst start to the second half for Manchester United. It's not the end of the world, of course, if United do go out tonight, although that's a bit tongue-in-cheek. It's a bit disrespectful, to be fair, saying things like that. You want to win games, you want to compete. But Ruben Amorim's target, he said before, yes, we want to win trophies, but my main target is improving the team. And maybe that could be, if United do go out tonight, that could be the metric and the argument that winning this competition wasn't their sole focus. It's about long-term success. And some will call that excuses. It's still very early in his tenure, remember. It's only 8 games. This is his 8th game in charge. Still getting to know his team. Albeit, Spurs, I said it tonight, Spurs could have had a second goal in that first half for how badly United defended. But it could have been 1-1 equally, because Spurs defended pretty badly in the first half. So it could have went anyway. And at the start of the second half, it was just Spurs that come out the better, come out with a bit of energy, and got that goal. Maybe a slice of luck with the kind of the kind of poor clearance. But again, it's been written on the wall for United all night. If they don't improve defensively, Spurs will score more goals. They are the top scorer, or one of the top scorers in the Premier League for a reason. They do find the back of the net on a prolific basis, and something that is another big problem for Ruben Amorim and Manchester United is the fact that they aren't the most kind of clinical in front of goal. They aren't the best at finishing their chances. They've only 21 Premier League goals this season. In terms of the Carabao Cup, now compare that to the Carabao Cup where they won 5-2 in the last round, albeit against weaker opposition, let's just say. But goals have been hard to come by for United this season on a consistent basis. And tonight, they've created chances, most certainly. They haven't found a shot on target, and that's where their issue lies. As Evans tries to go long up the middle, and Spurs deal with that one well and have cover in midfield to keep possession. Here's Maddison on the run. Rolls it out to Son on the left-hand side, as the Spurs fans singing in unison now. Son driving to the edge of the box, cuts it back for Sarr. Now Bissouma. Out to Porro. Now Kulishevsky. Back to Bissouma. Bissouma does well at being tracked all the way by Eriksson, but leaves his man for dead there, really. Finds Maddison. Here's Gray. Down to the left to Son. Drives back infield, linking up with Solanke. Solanke with cute feet. Finds it out to the left-hand side for Spence. And now Son. Son again. Off this left-hand side up against Mazraoui. Cuts it back for Spence. Rolls it in behind. Just a bit too much pace in that one. From the Spurs left back to find Maddison. Goal kick to Manchester United. Sid Harta says, are you showing the match? Only commentary. Just commentary. We can't legally show the match. Otherwise I will either 1, be arrested, or 2, be fined a lot of money that I do not have. Here is Kulishevsky. Back to Porro. Trying to return the favour, but Dalot there well alert to that one. Finds Martinez. Is the midfield to break into here. Fernandez back to Dalot. Euro to Mazraoui. Ball by Anthony's a bit forced, and Spurs can intercept. Here's Sarr. Kulishevsky. It just seems to be a bit more neat from Spurs. passing seems to be a lot more kind of incisive, and kind of has a clear and obvious target. Much sharper in their passing so far in the second half, Spurs. First half they were certainly accustomed to some cheap giveaways in the midfield. It's been a bit cuter, a bit neater with it in the second half. Here's Solanke. Wants to drive towards goal. Plays it across to Kulishevsky. Tried to go for the 1-2. Just a bit too much from Kulishevsky. As Bayindir was there. And the United goal together. So it's to Yoro. To Mazraoui. Wants to go long over the top to find Hoylands, but the flag went straight up. Offside. As United are going to make a change here. Joshua Zirkzee is one of those coming on. Ahmad and Kobbie Mainoo are all getting ready on the sideline, so maybe a triple change for Ruben Amorim coming here. There's Ahmad, the Derby Day hero. So here's Solanke in behind for Spurs. He's got a runner in Madison. Solanke, lovely feet. Solanke! 3-0. Manchester United. I think they thought Solanke had fleas there. They were a few yards away, not wanting to put a challenge in. And Solanke, with really nice, neat footwork, makes his way around and just strikes it into the bottom left corner. Beautiful goal. But again, absolutely dreadful defending by Manchester United. This is schoolboy levels of defending. Even at school you'd be embarrassed with this defending. Ball over the top. And Solanke just runs in. I mean, Martinez not running for it. Evans nowhere near it. I mean, it's just dreadful. I mean, Solanke does really well cutting back, but Martinez gets done in completely. And then Evans just stands about 2 yards away, 2 or 3 yards off him, and says, yeah, go and hit one. Why not? You've already scored one. Let's score another. I mean, it's just awful defending. Beautiful from Solanke. I have to say, don't take it away from Solanke whatsoever. Great goal. Beautiful footwork. Great control. But again, Manchester United, architects of their own downfall time and time again. And it's now 3-0 to Spurs. And this game could be on the verge of getting a bit embarrassing for Manchester United. And with around about 35 minutes to go, it's 3-0. As they will make that triple change now, will Manchester United. Ahmad, Zirkzee and Mainoo all coming on. And all of those coming off are Christian Eriksen, Rasmus Højlund, and also Anthony. So I'll just recap that for you. Anthony, Eriksen and Højlund off. Zirkzee, Ahmad and Mainoo all on for Manchester United. 3 changes in one go. Already have made one change before that. Have the visitors. Not enforced one in the first half when Lindelof had to come off injured for Johnny Evans. And the Spurs fans singing in full voice. Sure, very, very happy with how their side are playing. And here it could be more. As Madison tried to play the ball in behind for Son, and I don't think Son was too sure where that ball was going. Goal kick it ended up as, but again, it's just easily given away. It's given away again by United on the back foot time and time again. They're second to everything at the minute. Here's Kulishevsky. Skips away from 2. Kulishevsky, well charged down by Martinez, who's absolutely berating his defence. But again, they're off it every single time, Manchester United. They're yards off this. I mean, Fernandes just waiting on the ball allows the Spurs player to intercept. Mainoo on the cover, trying to get back, as Kulishevsky just charges his way through, gets to the byline and wins a corner off Lisandro Martinez. As The assistant on that side is telling Ahmad to walk away because he's too close to the corner flag. I mean, he's not moving with great pace there, Ahmad. He's very reluctant to move. As Madison's there for the short option, but Ahmad's still quite close. See what's going to happen here for Spurs in this corner. Kulishevsky over it. He will whip it in. There's a narrow one. And Bayender could have been caught out there, but he was quick to that and gathered it quite comfortably. Did the United goalkeeper. We've not seen very much from this season. Altay Bayender, the Turkish international, joined from Fenerbahce last summer on deadline day for £4.3 million. Has played the 2 previous rounds in the Carabao Cup for Manchester United. Porro, nice link up with Bissouma. Sarr sends Porro on the run down the right, but too much pace on that ball. Porro not quick enough to get there. Goal kick. It's just a bit of freedom now for Spurs. They're 3-0 up. They're comfortable at the minute. There's that freedom in their football now where they don't need to force things. They can try a few things of creativity. As Bayender, oh my goodness me. Manchester United. What's going on? Play out from the back and they give it straight back to Spurs again. It's just dreadful. As Mazraoui did well there, blocking off the pass, but playing out from the back time and time again. I mean, Spurs have been quick to that all night. Although here comes Dalot. That space lurking again for Spurs on that left-hand side of their, right-hand side of their defence as Fernandez switches it out to the right. Ahmad trying to find a way through, but just bounces it, bobbles its way towards Fraser Forster in the Spurs goal. An update from the UEFA Conference League this evening. It is just gone 5-1 to Chelsea against Shamrock Rovers in that one at Stamford Bridge. So Chelsea looking to be finishing top of the Conference League group, or the league, sorry, with 6 wins from 6 it seems. With a very changed side tonight. And Northern Irish team Larne at Windsor Park in Belfast is still goalless at the moment against Ghent in the UEFA Conference League. .30 minutes to go. 30 minutes to go. Spurs 3, United 0. The second half has been just better for Spurs and worse for United, most certainly. Solanke tried to link up with Madison there, but just well cut out by United in the end. Here's Fernandez. Lack of, I don't know, not energy, but lack of intensity from United so far in the second half. And maybe the wind has been kind of taken away from them for the fact that they have conceded 2 goals in quick succession at the start of the second half. But to be honest, there is just that lack of intensity all round from United. And defensively this evening, I mean, I can't say it enough, but it's just not been good enough. Bissouma there, challenging in on Ahmad. He does win the throw. Ahmad wanted a foul, but it's not a foul. That will be, though, on Jed Spence. So a free kick to Spurs. Well, despite any, or failing to get any late drama, with 30 minutes to go, anything can still happen, of course. But Spurs 3-0 up, you would say it's a fairly likely bet that they are going to head through to the semi-finals. What a setup for the semi-finals, albeit I might be getting a bit ahead of myself. But Arsenal, Spurs, Newcastle and Liverpool, some strength of a semi-final setup. Well, Spurs almost playing themselves into trouble there. Dragoshin just about getting it clear as Fernandez won the throw. Down the left it comes to Dalot. Dalot will cross it into the box. Xerxes! Good save by Forster. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's Manchester United's first shot on target of the night. It's a good cross by Dallo. Loops into the box, and Joshua Zirkzee in the right space just kind of heads it down into the ground. It bounces back up, and Fraser Forster makes a good strong save with his left hand. Spurs almost playing themselves into that trouble as they've got a goal kick now, but close indeed. And I said that was kind of a key problem for Manchester United all night. They've been whipping in crosses, they've been putting the balls into the areas, just they've not been clinical enough or not been accurate enough. Oh, that's given away by Forster. Fernandez, Zirkzee! Absolutely dreadful. That is woeful from Spurs. I mean, the defending tonight has been non-existent at times. Forster with an absolute shocker, and Manchester United might not be dead and buried just yet. Maybe there is something left in this game. Spurs playing out from the back, but that's not the issue. It's Fraser Forster. Absolutely shocking. Rolls it to try and find a teammate. He rolls it straight into the path of Bruno Fernandes, who just tips it forward into the 6-yard box for Joshua Zirkzee to tap home into an empty net. Absolute, my goodness me. I said in the first half, both teams defended absolutely dreadfully, and we're starting to see that both attacks don't need to be good to find the back of the net tonight. They just need to be competent, and they have been, because it is 3-1, and United, I wouldn't say back in the game just yet, but I would say it's not game over just yet either. Spurs 3, United 1. And if you ever say the door was slammed shut when it went 3-0, maybe that door is seeing a few cracks. And maybe starting to peer open a slight bit, that non-existent door, but metaphorically speaking. Well, Ange Postecoglou knows that goal could be a turning point. Shaking his head, looking on and thinking that could be the point where we go from 3-0 up and cruising to 3-1 up, and maybe slightly the momentum changing. And it will be some semi-final, or some quarter-final, sorry, if it were to end up in a tight game in the end. And we thought United's comeback against City at the weekend was quite remarkable. If they were to come back and win this game, that would be a wonderful comeback. Probably one of the results of the season for United, if they were to do so. Here's Ahmad. Wouldn't give up too quickly. Here's Mazraoui. Down the right. Ahmad. Breaking forward. Into the spaces comes Ahmad again. Trying to cause terror, but Spence was well matched, and Archie Gray in a tight space, getting Spurs out of trouble as he clears it away. Solanke holds it up well. Has Son further forward, but good challenge by Mazraoui. Here's Zirkzee. Hits the referee, who tried to get out of the way there, and United will get a drop ball. Well, it's certainly been a very exciting quarterfinals. Every team has scored in the quarterfinals. All 8 teams have found the back of the nets. That's what we want in cup competitions. We don't want easy games. We don't want teams cruising through, especially at the quarter-final stage. We want tight affairs. We want competition at this level. So far tonight, I mean, these two defences have been woeful beyond belief. That's a lovely ball by Fernandes. Here's Zirkzee. Cuts it across. Oh, almost in for an own goal. Goodness me. I think that was Yves Bissouma. Will be a corner to Manchester United. Lovely 1-2 between Fernandes and Zirkzee. And Zirkzee just cuts it back into the 18-yard box. And it's Bissouma there just running back into his own box. And he kind of touches it. Freaks his own goalkeeper out. Almost puts it into the back of his own net there. Does Bissouma. Spurs a bit rattled at the moment. It's Fernandes. Takes the corner short. 1-2 link up with Dalot. Edge of the box. Ahmad. Just narrowly wide. Will be a corner though. I think it took a deflection on the way through. And Ahmad gets the visiting and the travelling Man United fans up in that away end. It was going well wide if it hadn't been touched by a Spurs player there. That Ahmad shot will be another United corner though. Fernandez will deliver this one in. Punched away by Forster. Held up well by Kulishevsky there. On his own. As it's hooked clear, but the referee's going to blow for a free kick for Spurs as Delo fouled Kulishevsky there. Free kick. Quarter of the game to go. Spurs 3, United 1. And albeit with the scoreline looking like it is a bit of a cushion for Spurs, the momentum since that Xerxes goal might have just swung in Man United's favour. Ever so slightly. And a second goal for United would cause real anxiety in the home crowd, home players, the home fans, and the home dressing room, certainly. So that one's fizzed forward by Fernandez, but to no one really. Gray. Madison just evades a few challenges and goes under from Kobe Mainu. Free kick to Spurs again. Madison holding his kind of around about his right eye there. Felt he was kind of clipped by Kobe Mainu with his hand there. Ruben Amorim quite aggressively getting his little mini tactics board out, and he's got Alejandro Garnacho getting ready on the sidelines. He spots something, does Ruben Amorim. Well, real haste there, he got that tactics board out and he's... Oh, what's happened again? Fraser Forster, is he an imposter in the Spurs team? 2 mistakes in a matter of minutes, and this quarter-final is far from done here. Spurs 3, Manchester United 2, and Fraser Forster with another gift of a goal. What is going on? I mean, it's a free kick for Spurs in their own half, and Archie Gray just rolls it back to his keeper. Calm as you like. And Fraser Forster, he's charged down by Ahmad, who didn't give it up for love nor money. Great pressure by the youngster. Fabulous. And Forster, experienced all as you like, but that is dreadful goalkeeping. I mean, it's absolutely dreadful. I don't know how many times I've said dreadful, woeful, shocking tonight, but they're all valid, because it's been absolutely a calamity of errors for probably all 5 goals we've seen tonight. But for a neutral, it's a fantastic game and a fantastic quarter-final. And it's certainly not game over yet, as Ahmad gets United second. And I said if there was a second goal from United coming, it would cause real anxiety here. Well, I'm sure those fans that were probably sitting, resting with their backs to their seats, the backs pretty leant against on their seats, relaxing, the Spurs fans at 3-0. They're sitting forward with anxiety and angst now, because this quarter-final is far from done. With just less than 20 minutes to go, could Ange Postecoglou's Spurs be throwing this away? And this is huge. The next 20 minutes will be absolutely monumentous. As Bayindir gets rid, pumps it long. Basuma wins the first header. Thrown in was Mainu on the second, and United with a bit of space now to break forward and a bit of energy in them. Delo tries to find Garnacho down the left, but Spurs got bodies in the way and let it go for a goal kick. I mean, fair play to Ruben Amorim, because at 3-0 down, he makes those substitutions and you think these are maybe just to make sure this doesn't get embarrassing. But it's changed the game. It's got them back into it. And I said at 3-1 when they just scored, United, if this is a comeback oncoming, this will be one of the results of the season. 3-0 down, away at Spurs, in a difficult position. And now, around about 10 minutes later, we sit and watch. We're Spurs 3-2. And the game far from over yet. And that 3-goal cushion eradicated. And back down to just 1 goal separating the two teams, as it was at half time. Evans there, a bit reluctant to get back for that ball, but he did, as it's cleared away by Yoro. Archie Gray takes no risks in putting that one out for a United throw. Remember, if the game is level after 90 minutes, we will be heading straight to penalties. No extra time, just penalties. If that were to be the case, I didn't think I'd be saying that when Spurs went 3-0 up, but here we are, as here comes Manchester United with Garnacho down the left-hand side. Trying to break in field, squares it across to Fernandez. Fernandez rolls it through. Mazraoui's made the run in behind. Mazraoui! Just wide. Again. Look at this from United. Where have they come from? Fernandez, beautiful rolled ball in, but Mazraoui, no one making the run across the 6-yard box. Mazraoui probably edging to say, you know, get into the box, I can put it into you, but has to go and take the shot himself from that narrow angle. Wasn't too far away, to be fair, but again, United smell blood. Those 2 mistakes by Fraser Forster certainly hasn't stopped them from playing those short passes out from the back. It is the philosophy of Spurs. We know Ange Postecoglou's stubbornness and resistance to making those changes to the system, sticking with that feeling and the tactics that he embellishes in this team. Here's Dalot. Martinez, to Menu. Here's Dalot. Finds the little gap for Fernandez. Xerxes with the first touch. Taken away from him, but still alive with Ahmad. Ahmad will hit one. That one was always sailing over the bar. Not massively over the bar, but over the bar it went by Ahmad, who, don't know if he will be credited with the second goal. I think he will be, because he did get the key touch, but Fraser Forster should get 2 own goals for the 2 goals he's given away tonight for Spurs, as Menu with great persistence there wins the ball, or doesn't win the ball, but wins the free kick off Dominic Solanke. And after Man United have made a number of changes, they've actually made all of their changes now, have United. Spurs are going to make one of their own in a moment. Bergvall is getting ready on the sidelines, so we'll see him enter the fray fairly shortly for Tottenham. United have this free kick now. Fernandez will take. Quite a distance out, he just rolls it into the path of Ahmad. Bodies in the box as Ahmad gets to the byline, cuts it back. And I think it took a touch off a Spurs player. United corner. It's good play again by United from that set piece. And a corner on the right hand side. Fernandez fizzed ball into the box, headed away by Jed Spence. Back with Ahmad. Out wide it goes to Fernandez, who will Fizz that one across, but again cleared away by Spurs. And now Kulusevski tried to get in, but no foul to the referee. As here's Martinez. Mazraoui. Martinez back to Mazraoui again. It's Fernandez. 12.5 minutes to go of normal time. Spurs 3, United 2. There's Garnacho. Plays it to Dalot on the overlap. Dalot will cross it. Headed away by Ragushin, but good control by Martinez. To get it back for United. Evans. To Yoro. Now Mazraoui. Yoro into Mainu on the turn. Well closed down, but it'll be a free kick for Kobbie Mainu as he was held there by James Maddison. And that, I think, is his last involvement for James Maddison, because he's going to be taken off here. Now that yellow card meant that if Spurs do go through, James Maddison will also miss the first leg of a semi-final. He will join Pape Sarr in that desire this for the semi-final if they were to go through, Spurs. Lucas Bergvall is going to make it. It's going to be the change. It's going to be coming on for James Maddison for the final 10 minutes or so. Fernandez takes the free kick. Into the box it goes, bouncing around, as I think the flag was going to go up anyway against the United player if it had to find anybody in there. Free kick to Spurs. The Spurs fans still singing on, trying to spur their team on to the end. Pardon the pun. But if they were to throw this away tonight, Tottenham, what would that do? It's not the first time, it wouldn't be the last time. But if they were to throw it away, what would the impact be in this squad, this team, this fan base, this manager? What could the dominoes end up saying? What could the domino effect be? Could it be one after the other? We've seen Spurs in isolated moments this season at home drop vital points against 10-man Fulham, losing at home to Ipswich to give Ipswich their first Premier League win of the season. We've seen Spurs do this multiple times this campaign. In that Chelsea game at home as well, a miraculous game a few weeks ago, losing away at Bournemouth. As Bissouma gives it away in midfield. Dalot there to rick it up for United. Here's Garnacho. Battling well was Porro, but beaten past by Garnacho, and Garnacho's pass won back by Porro. As Son gets it caught under his feet, and he's three around him. Here's Ahmad. He will shoot! And Forster couldn't dive. He had to kick it away. Goodness me! Evans. Spurs are on thin ice at the moment. You can feel it. Once one little crack shows, it starts to fall away. Evans all the way out towards Ahmad now. Back to Yoro. United have firmly taken grip of this game since getting that second goal, and look more likely to get a third than Spurs do at finishing this for a fourth. Here's Mainu. Try to feed it in behind. He does find it out to Dalot on the left hand side here. Here's Diogo Dalot. Goes across. Mazraoui couldn't reach it. Fernandez blocked. Martinez, now the shot by Ahmad over the bar. I mean, we see this again. Son giving it away in an area where you just can't afford to give it away. Right centre of the goal, around 20 yards out. 20 odd yards out, and it's a pop shot from Ahmad at the edge of the box, and the keeper can't dive for it. He just kicks it away. Not the most convincing of bits of goalkeeping, but I mean, Fraser Forster's got a lot of praise from Spurs fans as of recent weeks since the injury to Vicario and Forster having to come in. But I mean, tonight would be an all-time shocker for him. Oh, not a great bit of defending there from Spurs. Ahmad in behind again. He's terrorising this team as he tried to flick it back. I think I might have took a touch off the keeper. It looked like Fraser Forster got something to that. Ahmad, I think, is making that claim too, but I don't think they've given a corner. See it again. I mean, Gray and Ahmad there battling. Ahmad gets to the byline. Oh, I think that's a corner. It looked like it came off Fraser Forster. It did come off Fraser Forster. Now, whether it had gone behind before that is the question, but I think it was still in play as Ahmad cut it back there. So, goal kick was given, but maybe a corner should have been from the replay. Let's not get forensic with it. A goal kick was given. Maybe should have been a corner. Who knows? Who cares? Well, with 6 minutes to go, United at the moment are not going through. They are still going out, but with the way things have gone, it could be going any which way at the minute. It's not over. That's going to be a foul on Yves Bissouma by Bruno Fernandes. Free kick to Spurs. I mean, even this, with Spurs winning that free kick, I don't understand the attempt here. Excuse me. But it's kind of like Fraser Forster just rolls it out, and then Bissouma just charges up the middle as if there's going to be no one challenging him. I mean, the first goal, dreadful giveaway. I mean, both have been absolutely dreadful goalkeeping mistakes, and, you know, we talk about it. I don't want to use that phrase, but you know what phrase I'm thinking about when it comes to Tottenham. The phrase that's thrown at them, the criticism that's thrown at them every time they look to be winning a game comfortably and end up finding themselves in a position where they could lose the game. You know, they continue to find new ways of doing it. I mean, it's just remarkable how they're in this position with 5 minutes to go, considering the position they were in about 25 minutes ago. As Spurs win a free kick there. Garnacho deemed to have committed a foul on one of the Spurs defenders, so a free kick will go the way of the home side. I mean, it's been an absolute cracker for the neutral. I mean, all of the quarterfinals so far, 3-2, 3-1, 2-1, 3-2. I mean, flurry of goals. I mean, what's that combine as? 17 goals in 4 games? If I do my maths correctly there. It's Forster thumps it as far as he can get it. Well, won by Martinez, but brought down by Spurs in the middle. Son, Bergvall. Tried to do something crazy there, Bergvall. Bit of skill, gives it away. Although that ball by Mazraoui, under hit. Spence there to intercept. Plays it into Son, down the left flank. Son, great challenge in there by Lenny Euro, who got across. Will be a Spurs corner. It could have been much more dangerous for Tottenham. Son charging down that left flank. It's a great time challenge by Lenny Euro. Puts it behind for the corner. Son taking his time, going over this corner. Martinez getting a bit antsy there, wanting Spurs to hurry up, wanting Son to hurry up anyway to take this corner. He is over there now. Spurs captain, for their third corner of the game. Only 3 corners. Here comes Son to take. Left-hand side will be an in-swinger. Right-footed delivery. Oh, it's gone all the way in! Oh, wow! What a goal by Heung-min Son! Captain clutch for Spurs. Altay Bayindir, incessant. There was something going on in the middle. He's just been given a yellow card. But Son steps up in the big moment and could finish this game now. With minutes remaining, Spurs get a 4th. Their 2-goal lead restored. And that could be that for this quarter-final. Direct from the corner. Son's delivery. That is absolutely incredible. That is the best bit of quality we've seen all night. I mean, all the other 5 goals have probably been dreadful defensive errors. But this goal is pure class quality. Incredible. Maybe there could be an argument that Altay Bayindir was kind of stopped by Lucas Bergvall, but again, it's just weak goalkeeping in the end. But take it away. Do not take it away from that goal. Absolutely sensational from Son. And it's 4-2. And that should be that. Whether it was a foul or not will be debated long into the night. For me, it's quite clear. I say it all the time. Goalkeepers get protected far too easily. Far too much. But that, for me, it doesn't look like a foul. I think it's just weak goalkeeping. He doesn't command his area. He lets the Spurs player, who has a right to go for the ball, by the way, the Spurs player has the right to go for the ball, to get up there ahead of him. Goalkeeper not strong enough. And he gets a yellow card for his troubles as well. Does Altay Bayindir. Spurs 4, Manchester United 2. They can argue all night, but there's no VAR to get involved, so they'll be just arguing with themselves at this moment. And Spurs are going to make a double change, and maybe Spurs save their blushes by one of the best bits of quality you'll see for a while. It's been a bit of a while since we've seen a direct goal from a corner in this country, in England, whether it be in the Carabao Cup or not. As Spurs make a double change here then, Brennan Johnson is going to come on and Sergio Reguilon is going to be joining us as well for these last few minutes. So those substitutions for Spurs looking just carry them over the line now, as we will have 6 added minutes. And Brennan Johnson and Sergio Reguilon on later on here for Solanke and Spence. I mean, I have to say, no doubting it, it's been a cracking quarter-final. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's been a blockbuster from start to finish. But tonight, it is certainly not a night for the defences. And in cup football, no one wants clean sheets. No one wants that. When you're the neutral, you want a top quality game, a top scoring game. And I think we're getting that. We've got that tonight, no question. I mean, I'm sure both managers will be absolutely fuming with their teams defensively tonight. But at least a bit of positivity for Spurs. It seems that they will be going to the semi-finals. They will be going through. And they will face... Oh, well, it's not... Oh! Xerxes there, trying to give us even more of a late scare. It will be a corner to United. There's still 4 minutes left. I mean, bit of a tall order to score 2 goals in 4 minutes. But, I mean, to be fair, they did score 2 goals in the matter of, what, 8 minutes earlier in the game. So it's not beyond them. Corner taken short. Garnacho. Back to Fernandez. Edge of the box, Mazraoui. Well wide. I don't want to say it's done and dusted yet. I don't want it to be done and dusted. This has been fantastic tonight. However you want to be critical about the defending, we've seen it cracking out of goals. And the result of this game, they'll tell you the semi-finals then, the draw of which will be at 10:30 this evening, around about 10:30. Do keep up to date with the socials of LFS on our, we'll have YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram and X, where we will have the full draw, plus on our YouTube community page we will have the semi-final draw for you to see who will be playing who in the final four of the competition. Well, for about 20 minutes, those Spurs fans had, I don't know if they've picked up what I've got, but they seem to have lost their voice. They've regained it, because I think they were a bit nervous and a bit anxious for a while there. But that goal from Son certainly put all those worries and anxieties to bed. Surely now it's done and dusted. There's the ball into the box there, cleared away by Spurs. Will bounce behind for a corner to Manchester United. United not given up yet, so fair play to that. They haven't given up, have United. We'll fight to the end as the corner delivered in. Flicked on and it's gone in! Another one! I mean, I say they haven't given up yet. Maybe there's a reason not to give up. 4-3. Johnny Evans gets a third for United. See the corner whipped in. That might be an own goal. See it again. Delivered in front post. It's come off Johnny Evans. It has. Great header by Johnny Evans. 4-3. And with 2 minutes to go, they wouldn't. They couldn't, could they? They couldn't, surely. 4-3. Wow. Just wow. There's the long ball back to the United defence. As Manu steps in and keeps the ball. As United might have reason not to have given up yet. Although Spurs, if they hold the ball for the next minute or so, they will be through. Not conventionally though. They've given us a strange night of football, but it's been an incredible 7-goal thriller. And it's not done yet as that ball goes out of play for a throw to Manchester United. Less than a minute to go of the 6 added. Spurs 4, United 3. Is there a last gasp equaliser for United here that would send us to penalties? Spurs fans singing louder than ever at the moment, desperate for their side to cling on. Here's Fernandes trying to fit it into the box, but no deflection as he was probably hoping for there, and Forster grabs with both hands and will take as much time as he needs. There's Bergvall on the floor. Lenny Yoro trying to lift him up. I mean, needs must at the minute. As Bergvall is in pain here. I think maybe a bit of time wasting going on. You'd be naive to say that it isn't time wasting, but surely not enough time now. Although I've probably eaten my words about 3 times tonight in saying that this game was done and dusted, but I mean, you never know. With Spurs, they certainly keep you guessing to the very last second anyway. There's no doubting that. As they will just take this kick with Fraser Forster now, and this probably should be the end of the game. Second ball on the pitch there on the sideline. The referee now has to play a drop ball, I think. Yeah, he has to do an uncontested drop ball because there was a second ball on the field. Very strange. I mean, we're into the 90th minute now. It's Forster All he has to do is kick it. And he does, cleanly. The referee not blown the whistle yet, though. It's brought down by Martinez on the left. It will be a free kick to United. Surely one last chance. Bergvall gets a yellow card. Is this it? One last opportunity for Manchester United to rescue this quarter-final. By Indir to take this free kick deep in his own half. Long kick. Goes forward and kicked away by Spurs. And that's it. An absolute thriller in North London. Comes to a tight end. Both managers smiling. I'm sure they're absolutely fuming with their teams defensively. But who cares? For Spurs, they never do it the easy way. They always keep you guessing. They always keep their fans on the edge of their seats to the very last second. And they have done that massively tonight. 3-0 up they were in the game. 2 gifts from Fraser Foster got United back into the game. A quality goal directly from a corner made it 4-2 before Johnny Evans maybe put a bit more nerves in the Spurs fans for another minute and a half when he scored a third for United. But in the end, it was Spurs that shone the brightest tonight, and they will be joining Arsenal, Newcastle and Liverpool in the final 4 into the semi-finals. Bayindir still arguing that he was fouled and for that 4th goal. But no VAR tonight. Maybe a bit of fresh air for some. But Altay Bayindir feels hard done by. But I'm sure Ange Postecoglou was a bit worried for a while. But now, maybe his prophecy of Spurs winning a trophy this season with him could be one step closer to coming true. A semi-final for Tottenham. But Manchester United out at the quarter-final stage. Final score in this Carabao Cup quarter-final. Spurs 4, Manchester United 3. What a thriller. What a cracker of a quarter-final. To round off the last 8, United out, but can leave with their heads held high in a sense that they were in the game for a lot of it in the second half. But Spurs did the business. Just about did it. Certainly not convincing, but it doesn't matter. All that matters in a cup competition is that you find your way through, and Spurs have done that tonight. Right, well that's it. The Carabao Cup quarter-finals are done. 19 goals in total across our 4 quarter-finals over the last few nights. Arsenal beat Palace 3-2 in a great game at the Emirates. A hat-trick from Gabriel Jesus. 2 goals from Sandro Tonali and a third for Newcastle last night from Fabian Schär. Made it 3-0. Brentford got a late consolation, but that's all it was in the end, as Newcastle make it through to the semis. Southampton maybe caused Liverpool a scare in the second half last night, but Liverpool, the holders, through to the semis. Goals from Darwin Nunez and Harvey Elliott secured the victory for the Reds. And a absolute barnstormer of a game in North London, as it always is for Spurs. They always give us crackers. They always give us fantastic, entertaining games. Maybe for their fans, their heart rate and their anxiety is through the roof at times. But for the neutral, it is absolutely exhilarating watching Tottenham. And tonight they've given us another treat of a game that has finished 4-3. Well, that's it for the quarterfinals. Don't forget, the semi-final draw is on the way at around about 10:30. Around about 30 minutes time, we'll have the full draw for you on our socials. So do stay tuned and listening out for that at 10:30 or so, where Spurs will be in that draw alongside Arsenal, Newcastle and Liverpool. And the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup get started in the new year. On the 6th of January is the first legs, and the 3rd of February for the second legs of those semi-finals. But tonight, Spurs did it the hard way, as they always seem to do. And they didn't make it Spursy in the end. United fought to the death, but couldn't find a way through. Spurs into the final 4. Not conventionally, but they're in the semis. Good night.